Okay, let's go.
And this leads into us, like, you're not dating, but you still have to deal with a man on a daily basis. So you deal with man brain. Um, does this fall into some sort of weird type of love bombing?
Ooh. I mean,
Like, he's trying very hard and very heavy to win you over, and he's like, I'm so into you.
I think absolutely. Because this would fall into a category of sex. Because then he's like, don't, when you're initially love bombing and it's hot and it's heavy and intense, and once he's got you where he wants you,
He's going to eat cereal for breakfast?
yeah, there's no more sitting anybody on my guy's face. It's done.
You're absolutely right.
So then he's done, and breakfast is served, and
And
it's
that,
over.
if you wanted to use that as an analogy for cheating, I would definitely go for it. And that fits with the love bombing too, because usually when the love bombing is done is whenever the other things start. And they do downgrade to cereal.
I prefer everything bagel, but it's got a hole in it too.
That's so funny. I love an everything bagel, the thins with jalapeno cream cheese. That's yummy good. Yeah, but anyway, the love bombing thing and all together, I said this in one of our previous episodes that I hate the word narcissistic or narcissist because it's overused. Love bombing is too. So is gaslighting. Oh my gosh. So is gaslighting. But love bombing is a real thing. And so how do you know the difference between what's genuine love and somebody falling in love with you versus this love bombing of so hard, so heavy, so fast?
How do you recognize a manipulation and not a manipulation?
Is love at first sight real, or is that just love bombing?
I don't believe in love at first sight.
I don't either.
I don't think it's a real thing. I think there's a lust at first sight.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
a physiologically thing stirring up down under, without a doubt. When I
little chemical
see
tingle.
some men.
That's a little chemical tingle.
Oh, absolutely. That toxicity and that relationship is already tingling down under. But I just...
Does that mean too? I need to run. If I'm tingling, does that mean I need to turn around and run?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
not fair.
If there's a tingle down under, you need to run the other way. The manipulation is coming. That's your physiologically body telling you to run.
You know what I just thought about? The ex that caused me a lot of heartache. There was a lot of tingling in the dating phase, which was a very brief and short phase before we were married and started a family. But there was no tingling. But I'm wondering if once we were married, I'm wondering if the tingling stopped because the red flags were popping. And that was like my physical or psychological way of saying, hey, pay attention. But I mean, I had told myself, you're made a commitment, you're in. And I was in. I was very loyal and very in. But the tingle was gone.
So you actually recognized it really early. I mean, like really early.
I remember sitting in the bathroom. I mean, we were already married, but everything happened really fast. But I remember sitting in the bathroom and going, either you're getting out or you're in. And I was pregnant. And so I said, you made a commitment in front of God, you're in. But I did not, I was so young. I was 21 years old. Like, I didn't understand that those things meant that I was in a not only a toxic relationship, but that was abusive in an emotional way.
Mm-hmm. But your loyalty not overlooked the red flags, but you were a loyal person into what your commitment was.
And I thought I was doing the right thing.
Right.
I thought I was doing the right thing, which, I mean, I wouldn't change what's happened because it's led me to where I am now and who I am now. And I am absolutely a better person because I have gone through that. But I remember the moment. Because y'all, I painted this middle bathroom, this electric blue that was so hideous. And then it had these neon green accents. And I remember sitting on the toilet.
That's horrible.
It was so bad. Well, I was 21, like decorating a house in the early 2000s. I think I used leftover paint from our business, which was those colors. But, yeah, I remember sitting on the edge of the toilet, and I was like, not the toilet, the bathtub, sorry. And I very distinctly remember having that thought. And from that moment on, I never looked back. I made the decision that I'm in. I made this commitment to him. I made this commitment to God. And I never thought again about leaving him.
Was there ever any point in any of the relationships, because, I mean, in love bombing, were there any of these grand gestures? Because, that's what they do. They do these grand gestures that are just like,
With
oh, that you
with
bring you
that
in.
particular one, it was I love you right away. But it was the whole like like I was so I don't know if I was just really gullible or if I just really like craved it, but it was that you're my person thing. You're my person. You're who God made for me. I don't ever remember
Mm,
using like the soulmate word,
yeah.
but that would even like that would have been like a little trigger. Like, oh, we don't use the word. Like, no, like he was smart. He was really smart with it.
Of
And
course.
then I believed him until we were getting a divorce. When we were getting a divorce, even our friends were like, "No, he would never." Oh, he would. So yeah, I mean, I think that yeah, that was a major the grand gesture wasn't physical, and that's where you and I are different because your story is different in that sense.
Oh my God, there was so much sex. There was endless sex.
There was that for me too. Yeah.
There was so much sex. Like from not day one, but there was a lot of sex, and there's a lot of grand gestures with sex, and there was, I mean, let's just be real. When the sex wasn't enough, there was toys, and when the toys weren't enough, there was other things, and when that wasn't enough, there was other things, and I think experienced a lot,
But I
too.
didn't. And again, I don't know if it's just because I was inexperienced. Because you're right. You're absolutely right. And I had the same experience. Um, oh, one of the grand gestures was, I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. I want to have a
Oh,
baby. That was, I
Jesus.
mean, like that may
That's
seem
a lock.
extreme, but that is a grand gesture.
That is a lock you down. I have control now, and that is the ultimate
But as a
control of
woman,
abuse.
I saw it as, oh, he wants to have a family with me.
Oh, he's brainwash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, it was his, like, to this day, he can control certain aspects of my life because those are my babies.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, yes, the sex thing was exactly the same. And now that I've learned and I've lived and learned, I recognize that the reason why it was never enough is because there's never enough for him. Because he's looking
Mhm.
for something that a person can't fulfill. And no, I'm not about to get spiritual on you. That's not the direction I'm going. It's just, it's part of that, whatever that mental
Mhm.
sickness
There's
is.
never a fulfillment for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like it, and they try to seek it in positive ways, negative ways, drugs, alcohol, working out. It doesn't matter. There's never going to be a fulfillment of anything.
When I was with him, I recognized yours also that he had an addictive personality. He recognized he had addictive personality. And I learned that a person who has an addictive personality may clean up in one way, but they still have that
Hmm.
personality trait. So they're going to trade it from one to
Absolutely.
the other. So now they're going to become an extreme
Yep.
bicyclist, or they're going to become, a pool, whatever it is.
Hmm.
Everything is to the extreme. By the way, they're going to burn out.
Yeah.
They're going to burn out on it. And they're going to move on to the next thing. And you are just along for the ride. Because
Yep.
if you try to join in, now you're competition, and how dare you?
Yep.
You sit back, you say how great you are, and if you can't handle that, then I'm going to replace you. I'm not telling you I'm replacing you,
Absolutely.
but I'm going to replace you.
Yep. And I would love to hear, because like similar experiences with both of us, but I would love to hear someone else's story because I've only really truly heard start to finish you and I.
Hmm.
And it's like, we can't be the only ones.
No, absolutely
Like,
not.
we can't. And it's just
Look,
baffling.
I have someone who's very close to me that was very close to me on the male side of it, who's
Mm,
experiencing it right now. And I'm on the outside looking in, and I can see it all as plain as day in black and white. And it's very interesting to watch it being played out with the female being the manipulator. And this is extreme. It's like your and I versions. Like, it's an extreme manipulation. This is not just your everyday controlling manipulative person. It's to an extreme. That's been interesting. But there's nothing I can do. There's absolutely nothing I can do. All I can do is just stand back and watch.